I'm Igor and this is the List Building Lifestyle, a podcast for those who want to build a large profitable email list and make six figures from anywhere in the world. If you would like to get rich by building a large email list while helping people, this podcast is for you. I also invite you to attend a free web class I'm conducting this week to find out how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers at a profit. Secure your free seat at igor.cx. Attend this free workshop to discover an easy way to get 50 to 500 new email leads per day on complete autopilot without losing tons of money. Just go to igor.cx to attend this free web class. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to another edition of the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor K-Fats. I've recently hit 30 years old. Actually, I'm almost 31. And the gap between my thinking, the thinking of the 20-year-olds in this world, is substantial. It's incredibly large. And one of the primary differences in the way we think, which I consider to be one of the biggest issues right now with this generation, is the entitlement thinking. Specifically, what I'm talking about, I see that people are primarily, like, when I say people, I mean like 20-year-olds, right? Not necessarily, 40-year-olds. 40-year-olds have a slightly different mindset, but they're guilty of this too. We all are, in a way. But more so, people who are just hitting puberty, they're all about convenience, meaning that these people are not driven by contribution to society. They're not driven by proving themselves. They're not driven by reaching their true potential. Many of them are driven by one thing, and that is self-centric convenience and lifestyle. And I find it to be, for the lack of a better word, annoying. Because, I grew up in a country where you had to survive. So it wasn't really about proving yourself, as it was more about survival. And if you could survive, that meant, you would have a legacy. And if you were able to not only survive, but thrive in that environment, it meant you're like badass. It meant you've made it. Truly, truly did. But, right now I'm looking around, and I've been here in North America for a little while now. I don't see that drive in other people. I don't see people really wanting to prove themselves or to go beyond their most basic conveniences. I see people sacrifice achievement for the sake of watching Netflix. I see people not being able to withstand something as simple as the pain of achievement. And if you're not familiar with the concept, the pain of achievement is something that Dennis and I were discussing the other day. Basically, anything you want to learn or anything you want to master will come at a price of pain. You have to go through a stage where every action is painful, where you're like consciously incompetent, and you're moving through that stage to become consciously competent, which is still painful, to only then to becoming unconsciously competent, right? So again, this is like the four stages of learning anything. It's unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. So these first three stages are really painful. Actually, the middle two stages are painful, because if you're unconsciously incompetent, you don't even care. But the moment you want to learn something, or the moment you want to master a new skill set, again, kind of like internet marketing, playing the piano, playing soccer, doesn't matter what that is, whatever the skill set is, you will have to go through a substantial amount of pain, both physical and psychological, and depending on your genetics, depending on your psychological framework, psychological pain may even be physical. For me, it is. I don't know about other people, but I can honestly say that for me, psychological pain associated with lack of achievement or with inability to master a new skill is typically, followed very, very quickly by physical pain, either in my lower back, in my neck, or in my chest. So it's just a very typical thing that I've noticed about myself, which I don't really know if most people are like that, but I'm definitely like that. So My point being is that this uncomfortable, unpleasant period of going through pain is just not something that 99.9% of people are willing to go through. And that's a shame, because that's what you need to go through in order to achieve anything significant in your life, in order to do anything in your life worth talking about. And so you see people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins, some of these guys, they persevere through that pain. I'll honestly tell you that if you go, and of course I don't have any scientific proof to that, this is only my own assumption based on my own experience and based on meeting other top achievers. If you follow around, or if you kind of bunk beds with Tony Robbins or Grant Cardone or Gary Vaynerchuk, you'll notice that most of their life is not about the Rolls Royces they drive or the amounts of money they make. It's actually not something that drives them. Most of their life is about pain. It's all about the pain they endure. And I'll even go as far as saying, again, I may be wrong, and this is purely my opinion, but I'll go as far as saying that the moment they're not experiencing pain in their life, they don't feel well. They genuinely should believe at this point in their life, having achieved so much, probably, thousands of times over what I was able to achieve in my lifetime so far, unless they're going through some sort of very difficult psychological or physical pain, I don't think these guys actually get pleasure from life, because they know they're not growing. And for somebody like Grant Cardone, for somebody like Tony Robbins, growth is the number one priority in life. That's every action they take typically shows that. So that's what I'm trying to say about this generation, about the 20-year-olds of this world. Pretty much in every country, they're all driven by convenience rather than achievement, self-worth, or establishing themselves in this world or contributing to society. And it drives me nuts. It is just absolutely the most annoying thing to me, because as far as I'm concerned, anyone who's not striving to achieve, anyone who is not driven to make this world a better place, anyone who's not driven by achieving their true potential, anyone who doesn't want to be pro, at least in one thing in their life, it doesn't matter if it's a personal thing or professional, but if they're not investing themselves fully into this one thing, I don't consider them to be spending their time on this planet productively. I just feel that it's a waste of their existence. Yo, it's Igor. If you're loving the content, hop on over to listbuildinglifestyleshow.com for more free training and a free transcript of this episode. Oh, and I'd really appreciate if you logged into iTunes and rated the show. It really helps. Thanks. It doesn't matter what this thing is. For example, my wife, she doesn't have any particular professional ambition, right? My wife, even though she helps me, she helps me out in the business, like, she doesn't strive to become the best in the world at, internet marketing. She's not. But when it comes to motherhood, when it comes to that part of her life, she's pro, and she's been pro since the age of 9, when she had to pretty much raise her baby sister on her own, because her mom worked like 2 jobs and was never home. So she was the one taking care of the family of her little sister. I think there's like a 5 or 7 year difference there, and her older brother too, who actually isn't capable at that age of taking care of himself, just like any boy of that age. So, but then, of course, besides motherhood, she's also extremely aggressive in the gym. Like, I've never seen her, like, she used to hate the gym. She used to avoid it. But these days, if she's not in the gym at least 4 times a week, she's like upset. If she's not coming back with her muscles sore, she's upset. If she, she really goes above and beyond in the gym, more so than any other area of her life, including when she was pregnant. She was in the gym all the way up until about 3 weeks before pregnancy, which is like the deadline, I think, for pregnant women and working out. And the moment she could go back in, about a month or 2 months after she gave birth, she was back in the gym. And she's like the role model in the gym, like for other mommies, by her personal trainer. Like, her personal trainer actually brags about my wife to other women in the gym, both older and younger than her. So again, what I'm saying is this: very few people in this world around the age of 20, or this new generation, the generation I consider to be not a part of anymore. Although up until maybe a couple of years back, I was still thinking that I'm a part of that generation. Now I'm seeing the difference in thinking. Now I'm seeing the difference in worldview. All they want to do is just consume, and take care of their personal convenience. That's all they want. They don't create, and they are incapable of going through pain. And you can see that not only in their professional aspirations, but also in the way they treat their life. For example, one of the most basic things that I've always wanted was a family, right? So creating an element of society, creating my little nest, creating this unit. That's what I really always kind of wanted. Like, I was never big on picking up women. I never really wanted one-night stands. I knew that I'm looking for that one woman with whom I'll settle down and very quickly start a family. And incidentally, my wife had the same idea because we come from similar backgrounds. But, creating the unit, and again, the keyword is creating a unit, was one of the primary goals in my life. So even though I was afraid of having a baby, my first baby, the first time, but I still, both me and my wife really wanted it. So, but again, the keyword is creation. I always wanted to create. I always wanted to be somebody who makes contributions rather than somebody who's just consuming. Now, that is when it comes to my professional life. Right. When it comes to my personal life, I don't think I'm the same way. In my personal life, I really don't strive to create much. But for example, I've got a friend, a buddy of mine, who's like really skilled with his hands. So like when he bought a new home, he'd done all the work in it himself, like everything from the tiniest little nails he kind of put on the wall all the way to installing like custom kitchens and stuff like that. He did it all by himself, and that's his, sort of his contribution. That's how he creates. So I feel that every person in this world has the ability to create, has the ability to contribute in some way, shape, or form. And I sincerely feel that this generation that's growing up right now, that's going to be the generation that drives this world tomorrow, I think they lack that, and I really hope that they'll use the access to all the information they can access these days, right? Both in forms of books and YouTube videos and everything, to actually make a decision to change their mindset and to become contributors rather than just consumers that are driven by their personal convenience. I really hope so. I really hope it's just a thing that passes after 25 or something. But I may be wrong here. Maybe I'm misjudging, or I may be onto something. I don't know. But that's how I feel about the world today. That's how I feel about the generation that's coming up. And you know what? I really wanted to say that. Really, I've been kind of holding it in for about a year now. And I was thinking, man, should I do this episode or not? Will I catch flack? Will people complain? And you know what? I'm open to hearing what you're thinking. So all you need to do to let me know what you think is go to my website, listbuildinglifestyleshow.com, and comment in the chat and comment in the comment box. Just let me know what you think, because this is a problem. This is a problem that we're gonna, see results, or we're gonna kind of feel the impact of it probably in about 10 years, when that generation ain't doing anything and continues to watch Netflix and go clubbing every day. So, with that said, and with that stuff off my chest, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of the List Building Lifestyle. And until next time we chat, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the List Building Lifestyle. Get access to previous episodes, the transcript of today's show, and exclusive content at our website at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. Also, don't forget to claim your free seat at the traffic workshop I'm conducting this week, where I'm showing how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers without losing money, and how my clients are putting anywhere from 50 to 500 new leads per day on their list at a profit without any list building experience. Just go to igor.cx to claim your free seat now.